Hello everybody, it's Jack and Jack back again with some lovely morning news. The morning of AEW All In at the old Wembley. There it is. Whoa. We went to RevPro's anniversary show last night, which was a wonderful show, but there was a shocking conclusion, Jack Atkins.
We were got hook, line and sinker, weren't we?
Yeah, we were got, because Will Ospreay, after having his main event match against Shingo Takagi, answered a challenge from Zack Sabre Jr. to set up a future match, which we'll talk about in a second, but then he cut a very heartfelt promo, and I turned to you and went, oh, we suspected that something might happen. And then I went, I think that's just the show. It was just a real emotional promo, and it seemed like it was a fitting end to a lovely night of wrestling. Then what happened, Jack?
Then Jack King spotted a rogue luchador in the crowd and went, who's that there? Who's that mysterious grappler? And who was it, Jack?
Boys. It was Chris Jericho, who came out of the crowd, mask on. It was very similar to what he did at the original All In. He jumped in the ring, still hadn't unmasked yet, but we knew it was him. Hit the code breaker, and the crowd went, oh, hey! He unmasked, it was Chris Jericho, and then he left through the crowd, which was a brave move.
Yeah, he was chased off by Aussie Open as well.
He got mobbed. Oh, yeah, Aussie Open came out, late, because Jericho had battered Ospreay by this point. Hit him with a chair shot to the head, but it looked like a glancing blow, like a worked chair shot, hopefully, anyway. And yeah, it was an exciting end to a great night of wrestling, and it sets up nicely. We were saying afterwards, we agreed, this has made us all more excited for that Jericho Ospreay match. Yeah,
because I think going in at first, people were going, it'll be a good match, but one of them. Then they had the promo on Dynamite, which is very good. But yeah, coming out of that last night, we were like, come on, Will, do it for Blighty.
Also, I mentioned that Zack Sabre Jr. challenge. So before all this Jericho stuff kicked off, Zack Sabre Jr. came out and said to Ospreay basically, oh, what a big night for British wrestling. But I think I've got my eye on your IWGP UK Championship, and I think we should have a match for it at Royal Quest.
Yes.
Which is a nice New Japan main event for an English show.
Yeah, and we were there in the arena last night. Great venue for it. Very hot crowd. And obviously, if you've got the two top stars of the UK scene going for it, that could be an absolute banger, as the kids like to say.
Zack Sabre Jr. successfully defended his NJPW TV championship on that show as well last night, defeating RKJ, Ricky Knight Jr. in one of the highlight matches of the night, actually.
Yeah.
Yes. Also check out Ishii's match with Northwest Strong, Luke Jacobs, because that was an excellent match as well.
It was just two big boys having a whale of a time hitting each other in the face very hard.
Yes, very good show. It wasn't the only noteworthy show, though, of yesterday. There was also a big Progress show at the Electric Ballroom in Camden. I think it's probably worth mentioning it now, actually, that Eddie Kingston has been announced for an upcoming Progress show around sort of Halloween. It's the Halloween-themed show. I think it's on the 22nd of October. It's not on Halloween itself, but it's late October. I was saying to you, I wonder what this means for Eddie Kingston, because on one hand, it seems good that he's being chosen for these other promotions, these appearances. You called it the Moxley role.
Yeah.
That's a good thing?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Everyone likes Eddie. He's organically gotten over. Wherever he's going, he's getting a reaction. As we saw with his run in New Japan, he looks like he's having the time of his life.
Yes.
So, I'm calling it the Moxley run of he's just like, I want to wrestle there. And they're just like, go for it.
And they go for it. It shows that, that's true. On one hand, it shows that he's got a lot of freedom, potentially, to do what he wants. I took it in a more negative way. I thought, does this mean he's not central to Tony Khan's plans? It's still not central to Tony Khan's plans, because I think to me and to many AEW fans, it's almost baffling that Eddie Kingston hasn't continued to feature centrally, because he is maybe the most believable wrestler in the world.
Possibly, yeah. But I mean, going into All In, he's in one of the featured marquee matches, and where we think that's going to lead going into All Out could lead to a bigger role for him again. Who knows?
That's a very good point, actually, as well. Speaking of All In, obviously that is tonight. I hope that we can flash up a photo on screen that has emerged of what it looks like inside the stadium currently. You can't see too much of like the set design and stuff like that, but obviously you get a sense of the scale of it, and they've got kind of how do I describe it, the roof contraption over the ring. Yeah,
well, we got caught in a literal thunder and lightning storm yesterday. It's quite sunny now. It says it's going to rain a bit, and It's London in August. You never know what's going to happen.
It's a sensible decision from the AW guys. Light beams were coming out of the sky. It was a scary time.
Yeah.
Also, we've got an update on Chris Statlander, because her challenger for All Out, as you mentioned, All Out, was announced on Collision last night. It's going to be Ruby Soho. Bit of a letdown in terms of how the match was arrived at. Basically, Ruby Soho was in a backstage interview, threw out a challenge for Chris Statlander's TBS Championship. Later in the show, Chris Statlander was in a backstage interview and said, all right,
yeah.
Have a fight. It's wrestling.
Yeah, have a big fight. Yeah. I think the TBS title, I don't want to say it's cooled down since Statlander's gotten it, but they're not featuring it as much as they did when Jay Cargill had it.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way.
And obviously, All Out, obviously we've got a week till All Out. They've got to build that card, but potentially no Statlander at All In.
Yes, she's been. It's been noticed by users of the Squared Circle subreddit and also from Statlander's social media activity herself. It very much seems as though she is not here in London and is not, or at least is not competing on the card, which would mean, if that's true. And she also did a tweet recently saying, or an X, saying basically, good luck to my boys in London, and it was the match featuring the best friends and Orange Cassidy. But it seems as though, by her not being on the card, there is only going to be one match on AEW's biggest show ever, which is not a great look for Tony Khan.
Yeah, I mean, AEW have been criticised with past pay-per-views of getting too many people on the card, putting too many matches in, but this is one where it feels like, especially some of the wrestlers with more longevity, like I was thinking Nyla Rose, The Bunny, Penelope Ford, Chris Statlander.
OGs, yeah.
You think there'd be a spot for them to be like, thanks for all you've done, here's the biggest show ever, go do your thing, but...
Yeah.
But we have, while we've been in Wembley the last few days, we have seen some AEW stars like milling around who aren't announced for the card. So
Thunder Rosa was in the tube station.
Yeah.
Miro was there. Yeah, that is true. There are people here who aren't yet announced for the card. So we could be speaking far too soon, although the card's looking pretty full, so they're going to have to squeeze stuff in. And we're going to end on sad news, unfortunately, with the news of the passing of Bob Barker, legendary American TV host, and in many people's eyes, the best Raw celebrity GM of that era.
Yeah, it seemed to be the people like Bob Barker, Betty White, people who were just like, they're the nation's, nan and granddad.
Yeah, right,
yeah, 99 years old.
Yes, yeah, fair play. I mean, it's very sad news, obviously, but a great legacy to leave behind. He was the host of The Price is Right. British people maybe know him more just from the cameo on Happy Gilmore.
Battering Happy Gilmore.
Yes. Fantastic. Seems like a really, really funny guy. And seemed like, I think the reason a lot of people liked him as the Raw GM was because he kind of just went with it and had a laugh.
Yeah.
And he wasn't in any way pretentious or taking it too seriously.
Yeah. Because some people were looking down their nose at it, just like, I can't believe we've got this gig. Other people were just like, we've got to try a bit too hard. And Summerfest, and Bob Barker was like, it's going to be Bob Barker.
Yeah, that is true. And also, of course, had crosswords with Chris Jericho, which brings us nicely around to AEW All In tonight. Pierce did that behind the camera. Does that mean we need 1 more minute, or we've got 1 minute left? 1 more minute, Jack Atkins. What match are you most looking forward to? How seamless was that? What match are you most looking forward to on tonight's show?
I mean, my heart is saying Samoa Joe versus CM Punk, because I'm a big CM Punk and an even bigger Samoa Joe fan. I think FTR Young Bucks is going to be the one that gets me going. Whoa.
Oh, I can't decide. I think I was saying this last night to those lovely German guys that we met on this very street. They were saying, which match are you guys most looking forward to? And I said, depending on how tired everybody is by the end of a mammoth show, I think I'm still looking forward most to the main event, just to see what on earth happens.
Yeah, it's the least predictable, but also I think maybe the most predictable.
Oh, no, I think it's the least predictable. Wait, thanks, Pierce. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And we'll be back with another news video later on today. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and we'll see you soon.